Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, we're taking a look at the third of four of the 704 gear knives we've had here to check out. And you will notice that the first two we checked out were crossbar locks. Well, now we're going to see a couple of button locks. And, you remember there was a couple of just the studs on their crossbar locks just seemed a little bit big. Well, I'm telling you what, we don't really have that issue on these, which is nice. One tiny little nitpick I'm going to show you, but let's just get into it. This is the Mantis from 704 Gear. You can see here you've got this tan micarta, brown, I guess, micarta. Got a pretty decent grip to it. Now, it looks like it has texturing, and it does, a very little bit, but the grip is still pretty good. Now, it's also available in black micarta. You do have a reversible clip, which is, it's deep-ish carry. You will have a little bit sticking out of your pocket. You've got a lanyard slot there, and pretty open construction going on. For the most part, again, everything is chamfered off really nicely. Now, this one, to me, I don't know, it's off slightly to the show side. That's what I am seeing. It's not absolutely perfectly centered up. Could I adjust that? Yeah, maybe, but again, I don't alter anything before I show it to you. But it looks like it is slightly off to the show side. Now, does that affect operation? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's no issues with the operation of the knife. Anything like that. Overall, the fit and finish is pretty good. You see you've got full liners. My one tiny nitpick goes into the fit and finish. Now, on the two crossbar lock knives, you had the 704 on the pivot. Well, this one and the one you will see coming up, the Dynamo, they have this sort of geared, and it just sticks out enough that if I run my finger across it, I can actually catch the skin on my finger on these. Is it a huge deal? No. But it's just something that I noticed during, feeling it up. And, I talk about fit and finish. I've got to point out what I see. And I can feel it on this one. We'll see if I feel it on the Dynamo. But, like I said, button lock. You've got dual thumb studs for deployment. Reversible clips. So, I guess you could call it pretty ambidextrous, because I'm sure if I was left-handed and had grown up left-handed and liked knives, I'd have figured out how to use a button lock. I can't really say for sure. As a lefty, I'm sure they have. Lefties, speak up. Does it feel natural to you, or would it be better with the thumb? I'm guessing it would be better with the thumb. Anyway, so what do you got? Now, you'll notice that this one does look kind of similar to the Hornet in, same basic blade shape for the most part. Handle going to be a little bit different. Of course, this is a button lock vice a crossbar lock. So there's some definite differences, but the blades are pretty similar. Now, this one is going to be 14C, where on the Hornet it was D2. Remember, you saw the big old D2 there? But yeah, 14C 28N on this one. Got a nice stonewashed finish going on. Definitely nice. And I like the overall design of this one for sure. Now, let's get into our little spec check real quick. Overall, 7 3/4, so a decent-ish side knife. Cutting edge, blade is going to come in at about 3 1/4. That's going to give you right about 3 on your cutting edge. And then your overall grip length, you're looking at right about 3 1/2, which, as you guys know, that is definitely right in my sweet spot as far as grip. No jimping or anything to help your grip. Not really needed necessarily, but just to throw that out there. Not there, so don't expect any. Now, let's see here. We got the bug out. So we should be just a little bit bigger than the bug out. Blades are pretty close, actually. Let me get it lined up. Try to get it lined up pretty perfectly. Blades are pretty close, maybe just a hair. And then, of course, about 1/4 to possibly 3/8 on the handle. The Mantis is larger. And then we have the PM2, which is going to be definitely larger. There you go. Get a weight on it. So we have 4 ounces or 113 grams. Now, on the first 2, we've seen there has not been any weight reduction. Let's see. No weight reduction. You know, we've seen 3 of these knives so far, and none of the models have weight reduction. Could they use weight reduction? Yeah, it's not bad. The weight is not bad on it. I was gonna say, you know, if it was like close to 5 ounces, I'd say, all right, we're getting a little. Not that that's terrible, but we could definitely use some weight reduction. I mean, could it? Sure, absolutely. We all need to lose a little bit of weight. Well, speaking for myself specifically, but it's possible. That's just one thing I've noticed. No weight reduction on any of these knives so far from 704. In the pocket, nice. Like I said, you will have a little bit of peekaboo. As you can see there, it's not super deep, but it's deep. Coming out, decent. Not bad. It's got a decent, I mean, it's pretty stout. I don't expect it to come out of my pocket unwillingly or otherwise, I guess. It will come out as you need it to. So, my overall. Like I said, this is the 3rd one in a streak of 4. We still have the Dynamo yet to check out. Basically, I only have the one little nitpick, you know, as being able to, and that's what it is. I mean, it's a nitpick, you know. Could it be flush? Sure. I mean, blade got a little tiny bit of wobble. Not too bad on this one, you know. Well, you know what? Let's just see right here, right now. We've got a little bit, so it is, in me using it, it has induced a bit of wobble. So let's do this. Since I'm in front of you now, I haven't adjusted anything. Let's see. Well, first let's see what it is. It looks like it's probably an 8. So, whoops, there it is. Let's see here. Is this an 8? Probably need my readers. Well, we'll just see. Now that feels, that's tight. That pivot is tight. Okay? Yeah, that pivot's tight. I am not going to mess with it. It's in there. I am not adjusting it at all. So, we do have a little bit of blade wobble. Not a lot. I mean, there's a tiny bit there. I don't know if we can. I mean, it's. Yeah, there is a little bit there. So, and I shouldn't have done anything because I didn't adjust anything. So yeah, little bit of blade wobble we've induced. Okay. No, I'm not overly happy with that. I'm not too mad at it since the pivot didn't come loose. Well, you know, if it was loose, hopefully I'd adjust it and maybe get it back towards center a little bit. So now the one thing I do is they're calling this a drop point. Okay, I don't necessarily see it as a drop point, but they're calling it a drop point, so I guess it's a drop point. $40 is what these are coming in at. You know, overall, I like pretty much everything about the knife. The design, I like the ergos are fantastic. I love the ergos. That pocket clip is not even in my way, not at all. Get a good grip on it. I mean, I can squeeze down, no issues with that pocket. So we've got this just a little bit of protrusion on the pivot. It's slightly off center, and we've got a tiny bit of blade wobble in this. Again, as I always say, sample size of 1. So you know what? If you have a Mantis, check those things out for me and let me know. Does yours have any of that? Is your pivot flush? Does it have a tiny bit of wobble? Is your blade exactly centered? Like I said, it doesn't affect the operation of the knife at all, one bit. So, but, you know, overall, this is the first one where this is the first of the 3 that I've really had an issue with, like, blade play or anything like that. So, interesting. Like I said, we'll get the Dynamo out here, and we'll kind of see what that one looks like. So, you know, as far as 704 gear, we're still doing pretty good. I'm still pretty happy with them for the most part. So, one more, we'll see how it goes. Keep your eyes out for the Dynamo review coming up. But I do appreciate you stopping by and checking out the Mantis with me. As always, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to you. Until next time, I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.